For my next build from LEGO Bricks and More set 5508, I decided to build this LEGO city scene that's found in the back of the manual. And this will be my final build from this set because I pretty much built everything that's from this, and you saw me build a couple mocks. So this is going to be it. So let's take a closer look at the LEGO city. Here's the city scene in all its glory. I'll take you on a quick look around of the town, and then we'll look at each element individually. Starting from the front, you had a nice little park there, and then a van. You got a guy with a broom, and then a bench with a flag. Moving over here, you got the first building, which is a pretty tall, thin structure. Then you got a few animals and a tree. And then you got your second building, which I'm assuming is a bit of a store. And then you have some items for sale out front. You got the cat in the window of this building. And then finally the last building of the set. Moving out front here, you have a small blue car. And then you have a woman and what I'm assuming is a dog. Next we'll go through each of the elements, starting with one of the smaller and simpler ones. You got a nice little flower on a square block there. So that's a part of the park, which is this part right here. And you can see there's a couple flowers there with a couple different tops, and then you just have the basic tree on a green small plate. Moving on, you have the van. This is a pretty simple build. It kind of looks extreme because it's got the big tires on the outside, but this is how it looks from the bottom. I had to kind of piece the pieces together there, and then you got the nice little grill on the front. You got a couple pieces or uses for the headlights, windshield, pretty simple. I left the back open so you can look inside there. There's no steering wheel inside this one here from what I could see in the picture. I tried to do this exactly as they had it listed. Next, we'll get this guy. He's a little bit out of frame right now, but he is apparently the street sweeper or maybe one of the shop owners, and he's got a broom, which was the only thing they had to build here, and you can see how that's been built. Pretty simple. Next, this is the park bench with the flag. I like what they did there with the flag, and I think that's kind of nice. This is almost like a bus stop, maybe. Pretty nice. Alright, we'll move on to the first building that we're going to look at. See if I can zoom out a little bit so you can see the entire thing here. You got the pillars in the front, which look pretty good. Two windows. You got some flowers growing from the rooftop there, which is the smaller of the two. Nothing to look at from the back of most of these. They're mostly two-dimensional. And then the roof, you just have slopes, and you have yourself a little chimney at the top. And that is the first building. So we'll slide that out of the way. And next we will look at this animal. I'm assuming this is I don't know if it's a dog, a sheep, goat. Not really sure, but take a look at it. You can decide for yourself. It's got 2 eyes and 4 legs. Take it for what it is. I'm not sure. And we'll move on to the next one. This is a small duck. Very simple build there. 3-piece build. Doesn't get any easier than that. Moving around here, we got the tree. Again, pretty simple. Looking at it from this angle, you really don't have much, but it's a nice little backdrop for your LEGO town. You could build any tree similar to that. And then, of course, the little cart that goes out front. It's got a couple items on it. Not really sure what those may be. Might be green apples or the tops of something, some type of vegetable possibly. Not much to go over with that. And then next you have another little storefront, which I'm assuming is a store. You got the door that leads in there, and then you got a couple items in the window. Had to break the panes out of the window to replicate this one. I like what they did here at the top. You can get a good look at that. Let me switch the lighting up a little bit. And so you have like a little bit of a decoration there, and then these look really nice. I like the color design in this. You pretty much mixed in all of the royal colors, and then you have a little bit of the light blue, which looks cool. And then of course you have the black slopes going up, but it's got a little bit of detail where it goes down and then stops and then comes out again, and I think that looks pretty cool. This may actually be my favorite building of the 4. Alright, move that out of the way and we'll move to the next one. This one, the most interesting thing, as you saw earlier when I was going through the town, you have a little cat in the window which comes out. That's a very simple build. Just, I guess maybe 5 pieces, 6 pieces there to build that. You can't really get anywhere behind there. There's no 3-dimensional to it, so it's just 2. And then, of course, you have this open. This didn't use the slopes. It used just regular bricks going up the top, which kind of simulated a rooftop. So that's kind of nice if you don't have any slopes, if you have a more of a basic set. And I like what they did with the color scheme on this because it kind of looks like it's made of brick. They used the black pieces in there pretty creatively. And then again, you have a little bit of detail right here. And of course, you could always close this up if you were shutting it down. So that's how that would look if it was all closed. And I think that's actually a really nice build. We'll finish this off with the last building here. This one's very colorful. You have the orange, yellow, you got the yellow window, you've got the blue roof here, and then we got blue slants at the top. They gave me very few slants, or slopes, so they had to use some of these, which I don't think looks the best, but it goes together well. And of course you have a red door, and you got a little bit of red up here. They did a little bit of detail right there with that little window, and I kind of like the way that went together. That was a fun little build there. This is the only building that probably has anything that amounts to an interior because of the two-dimensional aspects of the other ones. But in here, I guess you could put a couple minifigs and you could stand there and look out that window. But again, these are mainly seem to be for decoration. So I'll move that one out of the way. Now we're getting down to the end here. We'll take a look at the car. The car was positioned like this in the scene, so I wasn't really sure what they were doing with the front. The only thing that I could tell is there was a blue slope right there. They didn't show what was going on in the middle, so I took some liberties and put a white slope in there, and I think that looks kind of cool. Sets it off a little bit, especially when you have the white piece running through the frame of it. You got two headlights there, and you got the tail lights in the back, which look kind of cool. And of course, this is like the back of the seat. Nice little convertible, small little build. They probably could have thrown another car in here too, based on the number of pieces I have left, but pretty cool that you got a car and a van in this. And then lastly, we'll review these together. You have the woman who's petting the dog. You got the white feet and yellow tail, and you got the yellow piece with the eye on it and two white ears for the top of the dog. So she was standing beside that. And that is the end of the build. That was pretty substantial. You can see all the stuff that I built with this. This took me probably about an hour and a half to put that all together. Obviously, no instructions in the manual here. It was just simply looking at stuff and you figure out how to build it. There's the car, so you can see an example of that. I don't believe that there's a white piece in the front of that, looking at it very closely. So that may not be correct, but the rest of these I built exactly as they had them here, and I think I replicated it pretty well. So that is the final build from set 5508. Very fun set. I'd recommend it to anyone. I'll do a playlist with all these videos in them. And get this set if you can. There's a lot of stuff to build, and you probably recognize a lot of this if you've been looking at my channel for a while. So thanks for watching, and there will be another video up here soon.